Hello. Today I thought I'd try something a little different. I don't expect anyone to be watching this, as it's not going to be that exciting, but never mind. If you do come and join me, hello. If you're watching this later on, hello. Right, so this is a game I found fairly recently called AI Dungeon. It's a online text adventure type game. Basically, you type in and it types back. I'm going to pick a new adventure in this particular case. There is multiplayer capable on this. Hello, Slayblade. How are you doing? So it is multiplayer capable. I've not tried it. I don't know a lot of people who'd be interested in this kind of thing, so I'm not going to do a multiplayer one right now. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the world and pick one and start an adventure. Yes, I'm fine, thank you, Slade. So, looking through, I've picked a world so far for Tyrannus. It was another particular one. I'm going to do something a little bit differently. I'm going to go with Besathias. Let's go and create a character. So, character, I'm going to call it let's borrow a name from a game. It could be interesting, Slade. You're right then. Right, okay, so I've picked a name from a game. If you know the game, then I'll leave that one up to you. I'm going to go with a male. Why not? And I'm going to pick half human, half dragon. Protector. Let's go with a protector. Class. So a protector, let's make him a knight. And we're going to start in Xalanthas. Or Xalantas, whatever it is. Location. So we got Adril. So this is, sorry, okay, so Xalantas is a king. Okay, so these are the kingdoms, or the areas, and these are the locations you can pick within those. I'm going to start in Whiteforge, which sounds cool, and I'm going to turn world events off because they're just annoying. They pop up from time to time, and they make no interest in me whatsoever. Right, okay, so let's move on into the game. So what it basically does is it gives you a scenario, and you basically tell it what you want it to do. You can say what you're doing, you can say what you want to say, and you can say what the story's doing. So I'll try and read out as much as I can. So Besathias is a world where civilization has risen and fallen many times. The remains of once great cities litter the land, great statues and towering buildings lie in ruins, and ancient war machines rest on abandoned battlefields. In this ever-changing and vibrant world, the clans engage in an age-old battle of magic and science, where the weak cling to the vestiges of once great civilizations and fight for power over the scraps. The world draws near an end, a great evil has arisen, and heroes must rise to protect what is left and restore the glory of our once great people. You are a male protector from Whiteforge, as described earlier, raised by a tribe as an outsider. Today's first day is a warrior of the kingdom, as I picked knight, that's quite interesting. And you are tasked with patrolling the border of the village. As you pass by the well, your light catches a figure in the shadows. You draw your blade and charge faster than any man. You will be able to stand against their attackers. Not quite right, but okay, fine. So, right. So what we're going to do? We're going to do a. We're going to look around. Okay, you look around. As you look around, there is no one else around. No guards or anything. Say, why am I charging? Because you are a hero of the kingdom, you can't just stand by and see someone being hurt. You charge forward, roaring as you pay your step. Interestingly, I saw no one when I looked around. Okie dokie, fine. So, right, let's go back to a. So, do you approach the person being hurt? It's the name I picked for this particular character for this particular world played, Red 13. You approach the person being hurt. The person, Besithius, looks at you and says, I got this. Upon closer inspection, you notice the person was injured. Their eyes were red and blood filled the air. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to say, what have you got? I got a purpose and a plan. You and I are going to save the world, or at least do some good for it. Let me ask you something. What is your name? It's funny how I run towards this person who's being hurt, yet they just start there idly having a conversation. Fine. What is your name? Siegfried the third. Why not? We can lie. The person says, I am Besithius, but now is not the time to talk. We need to get moving. Where to? I have a plan. I've been training all my life, and this is what it comes down to. Now we need to go to the power chamber. It should be this way. Which way? Besithius says, over there. As you look towards Besithius pointing, you see a large, glowing white ball of energy hovering in the air. I know what you mean, Slade. It does sound a little bit dumb, but this is AI. So it's learning. The more you type, the more it's going to learn. Hello, Aqua/Blue. How are you doing? Welcome to Text Adventure, AI Dungeon. Right, so you see a large glowing white ball of energy hovering in the air. Let's change it to a do. Examine the white ball of energy. You examine the white ball of energy. You look at the ball of energy and it seems to be pulsating. You can't help but stare at the ball for a while. What happens next? You wonder what the energy is for. I'm glad to hear it, Blue. The ball of energy begins to glow brighter and brighter. The light seems to be getting stronger, almost blinding your eyes. What happens after that? Besithius says. Let's do some what happens next story. The ball explodes in an array of rainbow colored light streaks heading in all directions. Hello Ace, how you doing? I mean, I love games that you can do whatever you want, but it was to be logical and simple for the AI to be communicate with you. Yes, okay, fine. Right, so what does it say? What do you say? So Besithius says, this is where the magic stops. We need to go to the power chamber. Is the power chamber nearby? Besithius says, not right away. We need to get to the ruins of Hang on a minute. You just told me we need to get the power chamber. Now you're telling me we need to get the ruins of Sacred. It is a large city in the northwest part of the kingdom. Besithius and me travel to the north west part of the kingdom in search of Sacred. Besithius and search of Sacred. The pair see the ruins of a once great city. The walls once made of stone and now completely wooden. What? And the entire city is a ruin. the wood looked as if it had been changed on a cellular level from the stone and contained small lights. There we go, why not? What happens when you confront them? I don't know. Tell me what you want me to do and I can do it if you want. Okay, so the wood looked as if it had been changed on a cellular level and contained small lights that were glowing and moving like a ship's compass. Glowing and moving like a ship's compass. From one simple ball of energy exploding to a white city being all in ruins. I know, it's amazing, isn't it, what you can do? It's absolutely incredible. Right, okay, fine. So, what do? I examine the wall. Sorry, you examine the wall looking for an entrance to the ancient ruined city. Why not? The pair of adventurers see the entrance to a once great city. As you approach the cavern-like door, you notice it is made out of a strange material that looks half wooden and half metal. Okay. You approach the door. Well, don't worry about spellings, it's not a problem. The door opens with strange, almost hypnotic eyes staring back at you from the darkness of the doorway. Okay. You stare back at the eyes. The eyes seem to be beckoning you forward and out into the darkness. The pair of adventurers... What do you mean out? We're going in. The pair of adventurers enter the doors as the door closes behind them. Say... who is the person with the weird looking eyes? At least you can change the story a bit, but still, once you say something, the AI takes control and just does a huge full-on scenario. Yes, that's kind of the whole point of this. So you get it in its full adventure. Bessathea says, his name is Chaos. We are going to follow him through the ruined city. I believe the only way we are going to find some answers is to follow him. Chaos. Is this true? Bessathea says, yes, Chaos is the one who can help us. I wasn't talking to you, Bessatheus. Bessathea says, well, I know you are curious about the eyes, but we should follow Chaos to learn more about him. Why don't we ask him about him? Yeah, it's quite funny. The moment when the AI screws up and tells you to go in and then tells you to get out. Yeah, it's quite funny. I agree. Right, okay, so, well, that is the thing. We don't know where he is or how to find... Well, what the hell are the eyes then? Oh, God. These things are frustrating. But didn't you just say the eyes we saw at the gate were Chaos? Bessathea says, yes, the eyes are Chaos, but he doesn't know where we are. I think we should follow him. I want to know who is plotting to get... What? Where'd that come from? Who's plotting to kill me? Hang on. Back up a bit. What do you mean plotting to kill me? This is the first I have heard of it. Besthea says, well, it turned out that some of the villagers you are friends with have decided to use you as a way to get rid of me. You look at Bestheus with a look of disdain. It's just like that Eevee bot. They say one thing, then just say something else completely, and then bring up a whole different thing. What's next is it'll say your real name like Eevee bot did. Right, okay. So the characters are in a small dark room made with stone bricks. How did we get to the small dark room? We haven't moved. It has a door with a large mussel. A mussel? That could be used as an entrance to the outside, but is not. What is the door for? Besthea says, the door was a very ancient feature of the city. We don't know what it does, but it leads to a large open area. You head in the direction of the large open area. Bestheus explains, the door you came through is a large dented metal door. It has been heavily damaged over the years, but stands strong against your pounding on it. Didn't start pounding on it. You take out a vial of magic door melting potion from your satchel and throw it at the door. Bestheus explains, as you throw the bottle of the door melting potion, the door slowly melts into the floor and a large crevice can be seen on the other side. Yes, I managed to destroy the door. Right. Walk through the doorway. You walk through the doorway. Bestheus explained. The doorway leads you to a large room, like the ones you have seen at the village. However, the room is much larger, and there are strange markings on the wall. You examine the markings, checking them against a dictionary of markings. You examine the markings, checking them against a dictionary of markings, as Theix explains. As you look at the markings, you see them start to change and become clearer. Well, that's nice. Yes, I did destroy the door. It's good, isn't it? The markings are a writing of some sort, but you can't understand it. Can you tell me what these markings say? Bestheus. Right, there we go. Bestheus says, the markings are a series of words that you can't seem to understand. I assume it is some sort of language of the kingdom. What language is it? I don't know. I have no clue what it's saying, but I know it doesn't mean anything good. In that case, shall we move on? Bestheus says, yes, let's go and see if you can find any clues about what this seems like it is trying to tell us. You look for a book to translate the markings. The room is very large, and from the looks of it, you could spend many hours walking around the room. That's a very large room then. Okay, see you in a moment, Slate. The markings continue to change as you look at them, each one more complex than the last. That's not what I was doing, though. Okay. Finds a book on the floor containing the translations of the markings. The book is old, but it seems to be a translation of the markings. Maybe you can understand them now. Yay! Finally! Right, okay. You use the book to work out what some of the markings say. Bestie says, the markings tell of the story of a great man, a humble man with a great soul, who rose to great heights of power in his life. What was the man's name? Okay, so the AI doesn't know necessarily what to answer every time. So occasionally it'll give you a choice, and you can actually choose your storyline. So in this case, it says his name was, and then you can choose either an advisor to the king or a man who was a hero and a warrior. I'm going to go with the advisor to the king in this case. His name is Zetten the Great, an advisor to the king of Zelantas. Say, is he dead now? No, he has lived for many years, but he is old. 55 question mark? No. 55? That's my age. Bethesda says, it's not 55, it is probably something else. I think the markings say Zetten the Great. Let's look around for references to Zetten the Great. Okay, fine. So you look for a encyclopedia. Why not? Encyclopedia containing the history of Zetten the Great. Welcome back. You are in luck, as the room looks like it has a tremendous amount of information stored on it. Okay. You find what you are looking for. The book is a massive tome containing information on many topics. The markings seem to be recurring through all of the book, but the Zetten the Great is not listed anywhere. Well, that's bloody helpful, isn't it? You look through the book for any secret codes. Zetten the Great is most likely referring to Zetten the Elder, or Zetten the Great, ancient Zetten, who lived from the beginning of time up until the early days of the kingdom of Zed, which is probably whatever they called it, Zed something or other, wasn't it? Zoltan or something. Okay. Story. The adventurers decide that this room is no longer of use and move to their next room. I'm bored of that room, so let's go to the next one. The door opens again. This time it appears to be some kind of office. The room is cluttered with furniture, books, scrolls and parchments. You look for someone. Bethesda says, you hear a faint voice call out to you. It is distant, but you hear it clearly. It sounds like it is coming from the kitchen door. Where did the kitchen come from? You head towards the kitchen because you are hungry. Bethesda says, I don't think I can let you go without dinner right now. You make your way to the kitchen door and open it. Let's make some story, shall we? A palace, yeah, why not? Palace chef is in this kitchen making lunch. It smells amazing and has at least 3 courses. Why not? Looks over at the menu and picks one. There's a menu! The chef says, of course. You must eat something first. Let me show you how our kitchens work. I love the fact that people just appear out of nowhere in this. It just literally just happens. Okay. So, Andy, how long have you been going for so far? Well, on this particular adventure. So this particular adventure I started 26 minutes ago. In terms of actually playing, I started an adventure, a separate adventure, probably about a week ago now, and I've done a few words here and there. You know, so it's a pretty similar length, a little bit shorter story than this so far. Okay, you follow the chef, listening to how the kitchen work. The chef shows you how the kitchens work. He seems to know about the technology quite well. You'd hope so for a chef. You ask him if he can show you how to cook some of the dishes. Seriously? I'm now doing a cooking lesson? Right, okay. You listen intently as the chef demonstrates his ability to make meals out of seemingly random ingredients. Why not? The chef points to a massive box in the corner of the kitchen. It's probably a place to keep things, but you do not know what it is called. Chef, what is that box, or what is that box in the corner called? The chef says, you caught on. It is an item we call a fellboard. The chef starts to use the fellboard. Not so great. It could be better. All right, fine. I still can't believe you first blow up a white orb thing and now you're doing a cooking course. I know, it's amazing, isn't it, these adventures? So let's do a you. You watch the chef and start to learn how to use a bell board. It's the fun part of playing with an AI. They always come up with things as they go. Yeah, you're right there. The fellboard has many different compartments. The hell is this then? The chef slowly and carefully puts the ingredients in the appropriate place. The chef says, this is the first step. The main ingredient will always be placed in the middle. What ingredient are you going to put in the middle? The chef says, well, I will place a piece of hard bread in the middle of the fellboard. The chef puts a piece of hard bread in the middle of the fellboard. Now what? The chef says, now we add some butter, a bit of flour, and a few pieces of cheese. The chef takes out a piece of butter and some flour and adds them to the fellboard. Are we making a sandwich? The chef says, that is right. You will never forget your first sandwich. The chef adds a few pieces of cheese to the bread and puts the lid back on the fell board. Why did you need a fell board for that? 2 slices of bread and some cheese is all you needed. The chef says, you have to add the proper ingredient. There is nothing worse than having a sandwich that doesn't have the proper ingredients. Yeah, don't really like hard bread. Do you have any soft bread? The chef says, of course, all of our bread is soft. Then why the hell did you put a piece of hard bread in it? We also have soft bread in the village. They are quite good. So why did you put hard bread in the fell board? I mean, this is completely off topic here, but it's still. The chef says, you're starting to see why I said the sandwich is only the first step. We have to learn how to put together a full meal. It's a wonderful day if you attempt making a sandwich and end up not having the correct ingredients. Yes, I've made soup. What did you put in it? Bread. Welcome back, Slade. Anyway, so we're currently making a sandwich in this fantasy world. What is next on the list? The chef says we will put the cheese, a slice of meat, and some vegetables. In what? The chef says, in the fell board. The meat and vegetables are placed in the middle. Then we put cheese on top of that. What's your favorite vegetable? Yeah, we're making a sandwich, Slade. Apparently that's what this chef can make. He uses hard bread that's only soft. The chef says, I like vegetables from the forest. They are full of vitamins and minerals. The chef takes out a piece of meat and some of the forest vegetables. But don't you have a favorite vegetable? The chef says, I like all of the vegetables. They all taste the same to me. I do have a favorite though, the olives. Right. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Have you ever made an olive sandwich? The chef says, yes, it is a twist of bread, some tomatoes and olives. I can still remember how the taste of those delicious olives. It sounds a bit like pizza. Yes, the stream has turned from talking to an AI to cooking basics with Adzi. Yeah, thanks. Finally, the AI is making sense. A little bit. The chef says, if only the crust of the bread was as good as the olives, that would be delicious. The chef takes out a piece of bread and some tomatoes. How many sandwiches do I have to watch you make? The chef says 3. You must watch the chef make a sandwich. Then you must make your own. The chef takes out another piece of bread and adds the meat and vegetables. That makes 4. The chef says, no, it is still the first step. You must add cheese to your sandwich before you can call it a full meal. The chef takes out a piece of cheese and puts it on the... Chef, can I go and sit down and wait for you to bring me the sandwich. I am hungry and would rather eat than watch. The chef says, of course. We will go to the village dining hall in an hour, and you can eat your sandwich there. You go to the village eating hall. The village. And sit down at a table. Yes, very true. Just teaching you how to make a sandwich, exactly. So far, so the chef has made 4 sandwiches, and it's going to take him an hour to bring it to the village for me to eat it. You wait an hour for the chef to bring the sandwich, questioning your life choices. You wait an hour for the chef to bring the sandwich, questioning your life choice. The chef brings out a sandwich. The chef places the sandwich on the table. You take a bite, and it is delicious. I regret what I said about it finally making sense for once. Yes, very true. Okay, so it's delicious. Which is this, chef? The chef says, the chef is the chef. I am your new protector, and if you want to be treated with respect, you must correctly answer when I ask you questions. Did you ask a question? The chef says, good, listen carefully. I want you to learn your role as a protector. The chef reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small coin. You take the coin from the chef. The chef says, okay, now you must do something for me. I want you to take this coin to the village temple and give it to the priest there. Right, I'm going to talk to him again. Can't I spend the coin on hookers instead? The chef says, you cannot spend the coin on hookers. You are a protector. It is your job to follow my orders and show respect for your elders. I thought I was older than you. The chef says, you are a protector. You must be respectful of my authority. The chef walks away and you carry the coin to the temple with you. You drop the coin as soon as the chef is out of sight into a large lake. The coin sinks in the water, and you cannot hear it. You must respect the wishes of your elders. The chef waits for you at the temple entrance. What? How did you get here before me? The chef says, I am a protector. I can travel anywhere I want just by thinking. Okay, this is ridiculous. The chef then walks over to a large bookshelf and picks out that book. Or the chef says, I did not get here before you. I came while you were still at the eating hall. You must be respectful. My orders are of the utmost importance. Yeah, let's go with that option. Now I can really say. I lost the coin though. Yes, the younger dude tells you what to do. Yes, that's how they do it. Older people, aka your character, does not have a say in anything anymore. Very true. The chef says, you should be proud to find the coin. Now you must do one more thing for me. I want you to go to the village well and get me a bucket of water. Is this for another one of your sandwiches? Barry Allen. No, this is for my next lesson. You must learn to be respectful. The chef motions you to go to a well in the village. The story now says the well has dried up. The well has dried up, but the chef points to the babbling river. You pick up some water and carry it back to the chef. Damn it! The chef holds the bucket of water, and you follow him to a large oak table. The chef falls over and the bucket of water lands on his head, soaking him. The chef moans and you see a large tear well in the front of his pants. A pained look crosses his face. Did he wee himself then? The chef tries to move but can't due to the water. You help the chef up and say, tell him his mum will collect him shortly. There we go, why not? The chef says, I am okay, I just need to dry my pants. My mother will be here soon. Yes! Changing the story. The chef pulls out a hemp peasant shirt from his bag and puts it on over his pants. Right, I will be back shortly. I have a phone call to take. Hello, I have returned. I am sorry about that. I had to take a call. My family are not here right now, so they phoned me. Right, anyway, where are we? We were reading. Right, now the chef can teleport. Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? Did he pee himself? Take your time, take your time. So anyway, how you doing, Blue? Right, fine, I'm good. How are you? Right, okay, so where is nothing on there? Fine. Okay, so right, you say, is that hemp? The chef says, yes, it is from the hemp patch at the village. You notice that the chef is typing on a large, thick book titled "To Protect and Serve." You ask if you can read the book. The chief tells you to open the book. You open the book to a chapter titled Patrolling. The chef says, the patrol begins with me. I shall teach you the patrol and my way of thinking. How to make sandwiches. If your way of thinking is making sandwiches, I would rather go and find the mystic in the village and learn to fly. The chef says, sorry, my way of thinking has nothing to do with me. You must learn the patrol to the best of your ability. The chef slaps his large book and looks straight at you. You study the patrol. The chef says, the patrol is this. You must memorize. The chef texts, the patrol is this. What? I'm just at Dad's cabin going home tomorrow and find it. Okay, cool. You look at the chef expecting more details. The chef points to the open book. The chef says, you must memorize the patrol. You must know all the orders in the book before you can start. The chef motions for you to follow him. You wait, chef. I must memorize all this. I cannot go with you. Charles. Let's see. So, what does he say? The chef says, no, you must go with me. The chef spins around and bends over. You notice the chef is drawing a circle on the ground with chalk. Let's have some fun, shall we? You throw a rock at the chef's backside while he is not looking. The chef says, ouch, that hurt. The chef turns around and you notice that his eyes are red. The chef says, you have been marked as a rebel. You will be banished from the village. Do I have to memorize this book now? Okay, Slade. See you later. The chef places a large mirror in front of you and points to the picture in the book. You look at the picture. The chef bends down in front of you and takes your hand into his. Hey, we're not into this. The chef says, you are an outcast. You must be off the village and beyond the walls of Xalanthas. You ask your adventurer friend, Bella, whatever, something or other. Let's go back up and find out what his name was. Besatheus. If he will stay here with the chef or come with you. Besatheus says, me? I'm not out of this world yet. How about you? The chef takes out a huge pendant. You take the pendant. After a moment of silence, the chef begins to speak. What I want to know is, why is there a chef actually running this place? You listen. The chef says, when you are within the city walls of Xelanthus, take this pendant and show it to one of the guards. The chef begins to wave his arms in front of you. And then the chef says, you will be rescued. You will be taken to the city of Besatheus. The chef nods a few times and begins to walk away. Chef, Besatheus is my friend, not a city. The chef says, that is what you think, because you are from the village of Whiteforge. The chef points to one of the statues and begins to point to different parts of the statue. You tell the chef it is rude to point. The chef says, that isn't rude. It is showing you what you are looking at. The chef points to one of the architecture on the statues. You examine the architecture for clues. The statue is an ancient representation of a man positioned for several reasons. You wonder what the reasons are. You notice a strange symbol carved into the statue. The chef says, that is the mark of the city of Besatheus, the city where you will be taken. Besatheus. Did you know there is a city with the same name as you? The chef says, yes, the city was destroyed many times and is not to be trusted. The chef begins to wave his arms rapidly in front of you. Are you trying to fly, chef? The chef says, kicking you out of the village is not the best way to start a friendship. The chef points to a side door and begins to take it towards you. Is the chef bringing the... it is very kind of you to bring me a side door. Usually people are taken to doors instead of the other way around. The chef says, you are starting to. What? You follow the chef through the doors of the ancient temple. You are in a magnificent hall with stone pillars standing as tall as the surrounding buildings. The chef vanishes in a cloud of black smoke, and Besatheus reappears. The chef bops back with a large sack. Oh, for God's sake, I thought I'd got rid of him. The chef throws the sack in front of you and begins to wave his arms. You open the sack and find it full of gold coins. Say, payday! The chef says, what? Payday is the day the king holds down to the richest of the people. The chef begins to raise his arms in celebration. Thank you, chef. I can retire with all these coins. The chef says, the king has been giving people gold points for free for years. It is what everyone does. The chef points to the side door you came into the temple through. Oh, crumbs. What did I do? I pressed the wrong button. So I can get back to where I was, shall I? You sit down and start counting the coins. The chef says, it is my job to turn the coins as much as you are to enjoy them. Chef opens the door in front of you and step out into the sunlight. You turn around, go back through the door, sit down and count the coins. You hear a loud crash as the door is destroyed. The chef says, I am not allowed on the ground. I am a skybound chef. Right. I'm going to call it quits because this game is doing my head in. I'm having to try and counter everything. And it takes quite a lot of concentration. I will return with part 2 probably tomorrow. It'll continue on from here. So if you want to watch through the entire series or whatever it is I do, literally go back to the start, go through, and you can hear the whole story in the chaos that has been caused by Chef, my best buddy friend who I tried to get rid of and couldn't. Beat up, threw water over, and he's still here trying to go and and I've lost my other friend, the other adventurer that I turned up with. He doesn't seem to want to come back. He turned into a city. I don't know. And now the chef is a skybound chef and he's not allowed on the ground. Yeah, okay, fine. So let's ask him. Let's just do this. What happens if you land? The chef says, it has happened hundreds of times. I have lost count. I have to swoop back up and go as fast as I can. If I am found, I will be killed. Are you a bird? The chef says, I was a chef once. I was of the sky people. I was brought here by a dead man and trained in his place to become a warrior. You know, fiction is one of those funny things. It usually makes sense, though. This is interesting. So if you use remember command, use the alt command to Should I remember? Come on, I can't be. All right, okay, fine. What was the dead man's name? The chef says, his name was Forrest. The chef points to a large sword. That is next to the door. Is that yours? The chef says, it is. I was made to bring it with me. The chef holds the sword in front of you. The chef says, take the sword. It is your weapon now. Right, let's do something fun. You take the sword and chop chef's head off. There we go. The chef says, I'm not a bad person. How did you? Ah! I was only trained as a warrior. The chef points to a man that is standing a few feet away from you. You look puzzled, as heads of people don't usually talk when they have been cut off their bodies. The chef says, it is not talking. I am changing into a form that you can understand. The head... How the hell do I get rid of this guy? The head walks up to you and looks over your body. Right, screw it. I'm giving up. Thank you for watching. I am going to continue this on another night. Goodbye.